Dear friends, welcome to NSR Electrical. Today we see the transformer part 2. In previous video, we already know about the transformer introduction, working principle, types of transformer, core and winding, introduction, EMF equation. In transformer part 2, we know about energy losses, transformer parts, types of cooling, sizing calculation, turns ratio calculation. Energy losses. Transformer losses are mainly four types: copper losses, iron or core losses, stray losses, dielectric losses. Iron or copper losses are two types: eddy current losses, hysteresis losses. Dielectric losses produces magnetization losses. Copper losses are winding resistance losses. When current flowing through the windings, copper losses occur due to winding resistance. Copper losses is denoted as I square R losses. Core or iron losses, hysteresis losses. Each time the magnetic field is reversed, the small amount of energy is lost due to hysteresis within the core for a given core material. The transformer losses are proportional to the frequency. Eddy current losses. When an alternating magnetic field is applied to the magnetic material, an EMF is induced in the material itself. Since magnetic material is conducting material, these EMFs circulate currents within the body of the material. These circulating currents are called eddy currents. By laminating the core, the area of each section is reduced and hence the resistance of eddy current path increases. So the eddy current losses and transformer heating also decreases. Stray losses or leakage flux. Any leakage flux that intercepts nearby conductive materials such as the transformer support structure will give rise to eddy currents and be converted to heat. These are usually small and negligible. Dielectric losses. Dielectric losses occur when the solid insulation gets damaged or the oil quality also decreases. Hence, the overall efficiency of the transformer will be affected due to these losses. Next, seventh one is transformer parts. First one is main tank, laminated core, winding, cooling tubes or radiators, conservator tank, breather, HV bushing, vent pipe, tap changer, PRV, pressure relief valve, gaskets, air release valve, horn gap arrestor. First one is main tank. It is made up of steel metal with high thickness. Core and transformer winding is placed in the transformer tank. The transformer tank is needed to store the oil, especially mineral oil. This oil provides insulation and cooling to the transformer windings. Laminated core. The transformer's core is made up of iron or silicon steel or ferromagnetic materials. The iron core made by thin metal strips and lamination insulated by coat of varnish or papers. Each metal strip has thickness near about the 0.5 mm. Here we see the number of metal strips connected to each other with the lamination and form a single core. In the core type transformer, L or U shaped lamination is used, and shell type transformer, E or I shaped lamination is used. These core laminations helps to reduce the eddy current losses and hysteresis losses, and it provides a low reluctance path and high permeability for a flux in the magnetic circuit. Third one is winding. The windings consists of current carrying conductors wound around the sections of the core, and these must be properly insulated, supported and cooled to withstand operational and test conditions. Copper and aluminum conductors are the primary materials used as conductors in transformer windings. Copper is stronger than aluminum. It expands losses and requires loss inspection and maintenance. Generally, we prefer aluminum for distribution transformers and copper is for power transformers. Fourth one is cooling tubes or radiators. Cooling tubes of a transformer is the process by which heat generated in the transformer is dispatched or treated to the safe value. The major factor for the generation of heat in the transformer is various losses like hysteresis, eddy current, iron and copper losses. Among all the various losses, the major contributor of the heat generation is copper losses, I square R losses. The temperature of the transformer will rise continuously, which may cause damages in paper insulation or liquid insulation medium of transformers. Next, fifth one is Buckwas relay. It is placed between the main tank and conservative tank. Whenever there will be a minor internal fault in the transformer, such as an insulation fault between turns, breakdown of core heating, the insulating transformer oil will be decomposed in different hydrocarbon gases, CO2 and CO. The gases produced due to the decomposition of transformer insulating oil will accumulate the upper part of the Buckwas container, which causes fall of oil level in it. Then the Buckwas relay gives alarm command and tripping commands to the circuit breaker. Sixth one is conservated tank. When transformer is loaded and when ambient temperature rises, the volume of oil inside transformer increases. A conservated tank of transformer provides adequate space to this expanded transformer oil. It also acts as reservoir for transformer insulating oil. Next, seventh one is breather. The function of breather in transformer is to filter out from air. When transformer is on condition, the winding of transformer gets heated, so the oil in main tank of transformer also get heated. The hot oil started expanding. Therefore, during overloading condition, the oil moved to the conservated tank. In normal operating condition, the oil come back to main tank from conservated tank. The air which is coming from atmosphere through the breather in conservated tank. The silica gel absorbs the moisture from air. The main reason to remove moisture from air is because the moisture degrades the dielectric strength of the transformer oil. Eighth one is bushing. Bushing is an insulated device that allows an electrical conductor to pass safely through the grounded conducting barrier. Bushing insulating types: porcelain insulation, paper insulation, resin insulation. Ninth one is explosion vent pipe. The purpose of the explosion vent pipe in a transformer is to prevent damage of the transformer tank by raising any excessive pressure generated inside the transformer. Next, tap changer. The purpose of a tap changer is to regulate the output voltage of a transformer by changing the turns ratio of primary or secondary. Then the transformer output voltage also varies. Types: on-load tap changer, off-load tap changer. 11th one is pressure relief valve. Under the overload and fault conditions, high pressures developed in the transformer tank. When that time, PRV will operate and release the high pressure from the main tank. Next one is gaskets. Used to prevent the oil leakage from the transformer. Gaskets and seals are used to safely contain the oil within the transformer housing. Also, gasket is to prevent the entry of moisture into the transformer housing. Eighth one is types of cooling. Dry type transformer are two types: air natural cooling, air forced cooling. Oil immersed type transformer, mainly 5 types cooling: oil natural, air natural, oil natural, air forced, oil forced, air forced, oil natural, water forced, oil forced, water forced. In air natural method, the generated heat in the transformer is cooled by the circulation of the natural air. Air forced method, the heat generated is cooled by the forced air circulation method. With the help of fans or blowers, high velocity of air is forced on the core and winding of the transformer. This is ONAN type. Oil natural, air natural. This is oil natural, air forced. This is oil forced, air forced. This is oil natural, water forced. Oil forced, water forced. Next, ninth one is sizing calculation. To determine kVA, we must have at least two pieces of information: load, line to line voltage, maximum load phase current. This is the single phase transformer kVA equal to voltage into current divided by 1000. For three phase transformers, kVA equal to voltage into current into 1.73, means root 3 divided by 1000. Suppose we want to design transformer for 30 houses. Required voltage is 240 volts. Total current required for 30 houses are 150 amps. Assume 5 amps load per house. Single phase transformer kilowatt equal to 240 into 150 into 0.8 power factor divided by 1000. This calculation is 28.8 kilowatts. kVA. Then calculate kVA equal to 240 into 150 amps divided by 1000, 36 kVA. For three phase transformer, kilowatt also same and kVA also same, required kVA also same, because our housing purpose 240 volts are used. Here our load is for 30 houses 150 amps. Here I taken 50 amps per each phase. So 3 phases current are 150 amps. So round up to 36 kVA to 40 kVA. Required single phase transformer rating is 40 kVA or above. Next one is turns ratio calculation. Transformer turns ratio is the division of the number of turns in the primary winding by the number of turns in the secondary winding. Here NP by NS equal to EP by ES equal to IS by IP equal to root of ZP by ZS. NP number of turns on primary, number of turns on secondary, EP primary voltage, ES secondary voltage, IP primary current, secondary current, and ZP primary impedance, ZS secondary impedance. For example, we calculate the turns ratio of primary voltage is 110 volts AC and secondary voltage is 12 volts AC. Here the formula is Vp by Vs equal to Np by Ns. We require turns ratio, that is Ns by Np equal to Vs by Vp equal to 12 by 110 volts equal to 0.109. For step down transformer, the turns ratio will be less than 1. Also same, the step up transformers we should always maintain the turns ratio will be greater than 1. For example 2, primary voltage is 110 volts AC and secondary voltage is 900 volts AC. The turns ratio must be N2 by N1 equal to V2 by V1. So the turns ratio is 7.5. Next video, transformer part 3, we will learn transformer testing, current calculation, primary current, secondary current, short circuit current, tank size calculation, wire size calculation, and competitive bits. Thank you friends. Please subscribe, like and share.